Well, here we go with a Finch knife. Got a Finch knife, and they pre-stressed the box for me, and that was very nice of them. I appreciate that. USPS, thank you. You're my hero. In that kind of way. This is the Cimarron. This, however, is the Cimarron. They're both the Cimarron. Believe it or not, they're just different colors. See? Cimarron, blue and green, 14C28, and Sandvik steel, which is a stainless variety. This one as well. Says Cimarron on the back. Open from here to here, but you got a backspacer, and I like that. They did a couple of knives recently, I believe, didn't have a backspacer, and I kind of like having that. And I like the color on this. It's optic. You can see it. Adds a little spice there. It's a flipper. Look at the design. It just disappears. The blade disappears into the handle. The handle being G10, backspacer being G10. Pocket clip, betcha it's going to be titanium. I'll give you the link to Finch Knives, by the way, so you can check these out on your own, and I'm sure there's other retailers online that sell Finch Knives, so you can check that out as well. It's reasonably decent size knife, and let me get my magnet out of the way, get my measuring tape. What is it? Almost 3.5 inches. Almost, if we stretch, cutting edge, just a little over 3. Got a big kind of choil in there. So maybe about 90 millimeters, if we're kind. And 7.28 to 8.5, somewhere in there, inches long, not quite 8 inches at 20 centimeters. And just for housekeeping, let's just keep it rocking with the measuring sticks. 11 millimeters thick, 0.43. So that's thin. That'll be nice and thin in the pocket. 0.11 at 3 millimeters. Okay. So fairly slender here. Slender blade stock of Sandvik steel. Jimping up on top of the blade. Let me check the plunge out. That looks pretty good. Your lockup here is 30% maybe, somewhere in there. It looks like the liner, of course, is embedded in the scales, so it doesn't really show. And let's turn our scale on while we're jacking around here. Get the other one out here. You might like this color here, huh? Gray with black. Black and gray. This is our Johnny Cash commemorative model. I like to wear black all the time. Okay, 3 ounces. 87.6 grams. So 87.6 grams. Wow. Of course, they never, not the exact same, but they close. So, yeah, I mean, slender in the hand. Of course, ergos are fine because, it's just neutral. I mean, hello, you could just grab right onto it. Reverse grip is fine. Easy to kind of twitch and work with around here because it's so lightweight. So, I mean, it's lightweight. Check the detent out. See, not quite over the detent ball. Just a little bit more. There. And the drop's nice. Okay, let's check. Centering. Centering. Detent. Let me see if I can throw this out. Okay, yeah. I'd say the detent is definitely appropriate. That was tough to do, and it's a fairly light blade. You have no other way of opening the knife other than the flipper tab, which is jimped, and it's fairly muted, so that's nice. It's pretty intuitive here. Yeah, didn't fail. Okay, let's try this one. We got to make sure this one's good because I'm going to give this one away on this video. All you have to do is put a comment in the comment section, say, flipping the Finch. Flipping the Finch is the key word. And when I do my random drawing, if you just say, oh, I really like that knife, next, spin, flipping the Finch. And you can say whatever else you want in your comment, but as long as you say flipping the Finch and not flip the bird, okay? Flipping the Finch. If you say flip the bird, no. But you can say that with flipping the Finch if you want. I don't care. But this is 14C28, and again, nice that it's a stainless, and I like 14C. If it's done well, it's a good user edge steel. And this is not a $150 knife, by the way. I'll give you the link to Finch knives. You can go on and look at them. But these are a budget knife, okay? So they're not wildly expensive, but the drop is pretty nice. Lightweight blade. Just about got me. It's so light, I don't even think it could hurt. It even cut me swinging around. Nah. So, I mean, just let's go. But, well, maybe. I don't know. Let's not try that. Let's not tempt fate too much. But, yeah, I mean, it's lightweight, light blade. Blade disappears. Blade to handle length. Could they have got more out of this? Well, what do you think? They might have could, right? Usually I can't crawl up in bed with the blade, and I'm doing that. So I think they could have put a little bit more instead of, I mean, it's just a tad shy of 3.5 inches. I think they could have put another 32nd or maybe even 16th on that blade. So if I'm going to bitch at them, that's about it. Now, here, this is nice. So we'll see about taking this apart because we'll go, if it's a round pivot, this whole thing's going to spin possibly because there's no entry. But if it's a D-shaped pivot, it's great that this is machined then and we're all good. And I'm sure these are number 6s on the body as well. All right. So that's what the Finch box looks like. I mean, it says flipping the Finch, the Cimarron, the warranty, and of course, when I was doing this, right, I go, oh, don't worry, it won't cut you. If I'm a liar, you even get that in the box, and I'll leave it in the box for the winner. So, but yeah, this swings right around. Centered, no blade plate, no lock rock, just about bounced it off the stop here. Got a little aggressive with it. But yeah. Now let's test it. Where's my balance point? Wow, it's fairly far back here. Blade's light. Handles are heavier, obviously. But there's my balance point. Easy to find that. Yeah. I mean, it feels nimble in the hand. I'm thinking the blade shape is, I mean, good for piercing and slicing, really. Yeah, that'll work. I like different colors. I don't know what other color schemes. I can't remember, but check it out with the link I'll give you and go to their site and or whatever authorized retailer that where you can find the Finch knives. I think I saw them even on White Mountain Knives, so you can check that out because you can use LTK as a discount code for 10% off. There's no tax, there's no shipping in the USA charge. So that's an alternative. If you don't see the Cimarron there, because I think I've seen the Rontley and some others, you could always message him and say, are you going to get some of these in and that kind of thing. If you're patient, which most of us are not. You know, you make up your mind you want to get a knife, you're going to get a knife. There they are, stand them up like that. Yeah. They seem to be pretty good one to the other. There doesn't seem to be much difference in the feel of them. So I would say that they're consistent with the manufacturing process here. And yeah, lightweight, nimble, but a long blade, almost 3.5 inch. So yeah, really just a standard EDC size knife. And here's the Para 2. And it's not a whole lot of difference in the length, is it? No, no. Although this is lighter. And as you probably noticed, I mean, there's no left-hand carry option. It's right-hand only. It's a milled pocket clip. It's not terribly deep carry, but it's not bad. So there's that. And it's got some flex on it. I carried this one before, and it seemed to go in and out of my pocket pretty well. I mean, one thing you may have noted is that there's no lanyard hole through here. Fit and finish seems good. I'm not getting any gotchas here. I don't feel like I can touch. Nah, I can't touch the blade along here. Definitely not here either. Just disappears. Very clean look. I like the design flow of it. So if we're going to tear one apart, I guess I ought to tear the one apart that's staying here. That way you have a non-torn apart knife when you win. Whoever wins. And here we go. We got that one out. Let's get my little number 6 out of here. I think somebody was asking me the other day about, you know, what bits I use. And of course, I use the bits from KC Tools that are called Weehaw. Okay. Note to self. Wow. That was like crazy. That was crazy. That was locked down hard, way harder than it needed to be. So we're doing this one, and I think that's a good idea to do this one. Because then the next person that wins it will be able to actually service the knife. Because I don't know if the next person is going to be able to disassemble it if I don't. Wow. Okay. I'm impressed. I don't think there's any way in the world that you should have to put that kind of thread locker on them. Wow, that just seemed really intense. That was a real miss or close one to never being able to actually take the knife apart. Because that was really intense. I got out a brand new number 6. There you go. Finally got you cut loose. Here's my bits I use. So I got a brand new one out. The problem with number 6 is that they do this, you know, and so then you lose your traction. Look at that one. That's a twist. That's what I did on that Finch knife. I twisted that sucker. So, yeah, that makes it really unpleasant as far as being able to disassemble. There's all but the number 6. I go through number 6s. I always keep extra packs around, including another one as well. That's why I always bitch about number 6 body screws. When they got them torqued down, I mean, that's hardened German steel on this. And it's still, that's a brand new one. And just look at what it already did just to get this thing broke loose. So we're not doing the blue. I'm going to put that back on because I'll get back to it, though. I'll guarantee I will. But I'm going to say, yeah, this is too much thread locker for what it needs to be. And let's back that off a little bit. Okay. We got it apart. And we got ceramic bearings in here. I don't know if anybody else takes these apart on camera, other reviewers, but that they may, if they would have the same experience that I do, because that's not good. Okay, let's just pop it out. Come on. There you go. Clean. It's definitely clean. Drop them bearings out. Let's see what the bearings look like. They are extremely small. But there they are, and they're clean. It has good action on it, so I'm not going to complain about that. And it's clean here. Ceramic D-tamp ball. And yes, it has a D-shaped pivot because you got that D shape there. And yes, they did. And thank God they did, because there's no way you can do anything there. So, and that's from the presentation side. So if that whole thing was Loctited down like these screws were, you'd be done. Okay, this one, it was my nemesis. It was, wow, it was not wanting to let go. I know I'm not the only guy out there that has problems with knives, trying to disassemble them. So I'm not alone, I get it, but boy, it's frustrating. And you just tell these manufacturers, you know, I can always put my own thread locker in there, and then I can be responsible for my own disasters, but I don't need you to help me out. I really don't need the help, buddy. Okay, here we go, and we got, okay, we're going to put this thing back together, I guess, from the presentation side. I'm not sure that I need to, but that's the way we're going to go with it. Here. Shouldn't be difficult. Got to get my orientation of this here, because it's going to point back this way, this D shape here, this flat. When it goes into the other side, the other opposite liner, it's got to be in that orientation to go through. Keep that. That doesn't sit down there too far, does it? A lot of stop pins will sit down and they'll be a lot more solid in their position. This one's a little bit more precarious. Okay, we got it together. Stop pin here, stop pin here. This is obviously for the closed position. Goes in here, and that's for the open position. And we're going to sandwich these together. I'm going to look around the camera to make sure I get the pins in the right position, and hopefully my little D-shape pivot comes through. Just like that. Had to move that pivot a little bit. It wasn't quite lined up. And let's go back in with the pivot screw, and we'll see about these other body screws here. And of course the pocket clip, rejoin that to the party, like that. And I'm pulling this screw from the other side. I'm going to come around We have this screw here. And that tightens down. So let's get my number 8 out here and let's see where we are. Well, that looks centered actually. Where are we? Well, there's no play. But there's a good drop. I think we got it done. All right. All right, we took this one apart, put it back together. You know, and I went back and I loosened the screw here, here, and here, so it could be disassembled later. You know, I got no problem with the pivot screw. First of all, it's a number 8, and second of all, it's a D-shaped pivot, which goes through a steel liner, holds it in place, and you can break this away. I know maybe I seem a little obsessive, but these number 6s are really, really difficult. They can tear up your Torx bits, even when they're hardened German steel. You see what I'm saying? And I get these from, you know, KC Tool in Kansas City. And Chris Conaway from Sheepdog Knives was the guy I talked to about that. He used to work there, and maybe he still does, I don't know. But yes, even with those hardened German steel bits, number 6s just are too fragile. I don't like it, but I guess I got to live with it. So there we go. So check out the Cimarron from Finch Knives. I mean, Finch Knives, they're USA people. They're here. I think they're out of Kansas. So and or whatever retailers carry their knives, but it's one of those things. You look at it. Is it a design that you like? I like the Holiday really well. Still my favorite. I'd say this is probably a close number 2 because the 1929 is so small. If they come out with that in a bigger version with like a 3.25 or 3.5 inch blade, I'm all in on that too. So flip the Finch. That's the magic word for the giveaway on the Finch knife Cimarron. Thank you very much. Hey, you know what we do around here? Somewhere around here, we love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.